I get it. Grammar is boring, difficult, maybe even skippable. But what if there was one thing to make grammar easy every time? Hi, I'm Lindsay, a language learning expert passionate about helping you learn languages better. And in this video, I'm going to share the one thing that makes grammar easy every time and 3 common thoughts that you might have about grammar and what to do about them. Before we get into it, grammar is one of our topics at this year's Grace and Space. Grace and Space is an annual event I host online. It's happening this year from the 25th to the 28th of September. I'll share more at the end of this video, but if you're ready to go, you can get your tickets at lindsaydoeslanguages.com/grace and space. And if you're watching this after the event has happened, you can join my email list for updates about future events at lindsaydoeslanguages.com/list. And when you do so, you will also get my ultimate language resource list. All right, let's get into it. So what is that one thing? It's very, very simple. It is a grammar mindset reset. Yes, that is it. You just need to change the way that you think about grammar. Then it will be easy every time, guaranteed. Why? Because when you go into the idea of grammar and you think, oh, I've got to do grammar, but grammar is boring or it's difficult, or you don't do grammar because you think that it's skippable, then what do you think grammar's going to be? It's going to be all of those things. It's going to be boring. It's going to be difficult. And when you're skipping it, when you're missing it, it's going to be non-existent. So we need to change the way that you think about grammar. That's what we're going to be talking about more in the session at Grace and Space. But for today, I want to just zoom into those 3 thoughts that you might have yourself about grammar. And this isn't to guilt you into that. It's not your fault you feel this way. It's just the way that grammar kind of exists. It's just the reputation that grammar has, right? So let's talk about it. First of all, grammar is boring. Why this myth? Why do we think that grammar is boring? School. Because in school, it was probably not taught to you in the most interesting way. That's it. That's why we have this idea that grammar is boring. Because maybe you had a bit of fun in language classes when you were learning vocab and like throwing something around the room to do that, like passing from word to word, or, you know, you had these role plays you were doing and that was fun because you got to talk to your friend. And then came the grammar bit of the textbook and that was boring. And so you kind of feel like it's going to be the same now. I'll be honest, maybe I was lucky, but I do remember attempts at my school to make grammar more fun. Like we had this thing for French verbs, Mrs. Van der Tramp, that was like this acronym. And there was this picture of this woman, Mrs. Van der Tramp, and all of the verbs that took être in the past began with those letters, you know? Like these little things like that. But it's still stuck, this reputation of it being boring. And I think part of that is when you're not in control, you have no say over how something's taught to you. But when you are in control, when you're learning a language for yourself as an adult, you become your own teacher. That is how you want to approach this. And that doesn't mean that you need to go out and get a degree in pedagogy or anything like that. It just means that you are the one that's going to take control over exactly what you do, how you do it, when you do it. And so if you think grammar is boring, you are the one that gets to decide that it's not. You get to decide when it's going to be fun. And you can make grammar fun. If you're bored with grammar, just ask ChatGPT, how can I make learning grammar fun in another language? Simple question. You're going to get as many answers as you want. Believe me, ChatGPT loves to please. You just keep asking, they'll keep giving. Or better yet, get 100 creative ideas from me. I'll pop a link up in the card. And this has a whole chapter about grammar, specifically to make it more engaging, to make it more useful and practical, and most importantly, fun. If you think that grammar is boring, your grammar mindset reset about this is to instead think, there's always other ways to learn. Number 2, grammar is difficult. Why this myth? Because grammar is full of jargon. It's probably full of words that feel overly linguistic, overly complicated, and you feel kind of embarrassed if you don't understand the first explanation that you're given. Me too, I get this. I have recently been learning Korean, and in the textbook that I have, it just has a wall of text to explain a new grammar structure. And I can read through that. I can read between the lines because I'm experienced with this. I know what I'm doing. And I know when I see that, okay, let me just read this. Okay, let me go and find this explanation elsewhere so that I know I can figure this out. But if this is your resource and you are learning this language for the first time, man, so many people must have been put off. In fact, the book I have for Korean is a secondhand book, and I can tell that the person that had it before me finished after chapter 1. How can I tell? Because they've answered some of the questions in pencil, they've highlighted the vocab lists in chapter 1. None of that exists in the book in chapter 2. There is no pencil mark, no highlighting, nothing. Because they got bored, they got overwhelmed, and they got scared away by the instant grammar jargon thrown at them. And when you don't understand that, you feel stupid. So then, of course, you want to avoid grammar. So what do we need to do here? Well, when you find that sort of explanation, that wall of text that just does not clear anything up, you want to seek out other explanation, whether it's YouTube, podcast, blog, another teacher, someone else, another learner, whatever it is, just find another way of this thing being explained to you, and chances are it will click. It might not click on the first alternative or the second, but eventually something will just drop and you'll go, oh, I get it now. This happened to me as well with German cases. I did not understand. It was the first time that I'd been exposed to the concept of cases when I learned German. And I didn't get it at all. The textbook did not make sense. The lessons about it didn't make sense. I was just like, okay, this is a thing I'm too stupid for, right? I can do my French and Spanish, I can conjugate those verbs, but this case thing, not a clue. And it makes you feel stupid. But then I went and I met with a fellow learner on my course. This was like a distance learning course, right? But this person lived close to me. So we met up one evening to do a bit of German. And she explained it to me in a way that just made sense. And then from then on, I get it. Like, that's all you need. You just need that one explanation. So it's not that you are too stupid or that grammar is too difficult for you to understand. It's that the explanation that you have had so far is not well constructed, essentially. And that is the problem. It's not you. So if you think that grammar is too difficult, your mindset reset for grammar on this is to instead think you've not yet found the right explanation. And finally, common thought number 3 on grammar. Grammar is skippable. Oh, this one, so annoying. This is also a consequence of the first 2, right? Because a lot of people think that grammar is boring and grammar is difficult, we end up with this idea that grammar is skippable. This comes from essentially, if anyone has something to sell, then an easy way to sell it is to say that you will not have to do the thing that you hate if you buy this thing, right? And so a lot of language books and courses and things like that will tell you you don't need to learn grammar. Or the front cover will say, quick, easy French, no grammar, in a little bubble, right? Because that's the thing that you've been taught you hate. You think it's boring, you think it's difficult. So we end up with this idea of not needing grammar, because that's what's going to make it quick and easy. Not really true. Because the truth is, even when people say grammar is skippable, it's still there. The grammar is just hidden. It's like spinach in a fruit smoothie, right? The grammar is still there. Perhaps someone says, we won't learn any grammar, we'll just learn vocab. But grammar is vocab. Grammar is words. What do you think grammar is? Grammar is words, right? So grammar is vocab. So that means that you will be learning grammar, you just won't necessarily be learning it in the ways that you thought you need to learn it from school, from those boring explanations, and from those difficult jargon-filled explanations from textbooks. So if you think that grammar is skippable, what do? You stop trying to find a hack. Here's your mindset reset on this one. Your vocabulary is like your bricks, right? And your grammar is your cement. There is only so tall you can build your vocab, your bricks, without cement, grammar. And that means there is only so far that you can go in a language, just acquiring vocabulary, just learning words without paying any attention to grammar. Because soon enough, it's going to topple down. And you're going to need grammar to hold those things that you want to say together. That's it. You will need grammar. So your reset on this is actually to be thinking about it in that way, to recognize that, yeah, okay, The vocabulary is core, but the grammar is going to really help me make this solid. And the more cement that you add to your bricks, the stronger your language is going to get. So the one thing that makes grammar easy every time, no matter what your thought is about grammar, it is a mindset reset, a complete shift in the way that you think about it. If you think that grammar is boring, difficult, or skippable, then guess what? It will be for you. But if you reframe the way you think about it and find ways to make it fun, recognize its importance, and look forward to how much better it's going to make you sound, you'll be golden. We'll be doing this at Grace and Space. We have a whole session on grammar. It's not going to be boring, it's not going to be difficult, and it is definitely not going to be skippable. This event is happening the 25th to the 28th of September, 2025. You can get your tickets right now for just $50 at lindsaydoeslanguages.com/grace and space. This is the biggest Grace and Space yet. We have live sessions over the 4 days, the 4 taught sessions that we have going on. We also have hot seat coaching, Q&A, co-study, all of these things. The hot seat coaching I'm really, really excited about. This is a chance for you to get personal coaching and feedback from me based on where you're at right now and what you need help with right now. Like, so good. So excited for that one. And yeah, you're going to love it. So get your ticket now, lindsaydoeslanguages.com/grace and space, and I'll see you there. And if you're watching this in the future, after the event, no problem. You can sign up to my email list for updates about future events and get my ultimate language resource list at lindsaydoeslanguages.com/list. As always, thank you for watching. If you have found this video helpful, you can watch the rest of this series at the little card up here. I'll pop a link in the description as well. And remember to hit like, subscribe, tell a friend, all of the stuff that means more of us can learn languages better.